All right, at this point, you should have your headphones in, you should have your note sheet in front of you, and you should be ready to work. While you do the warm-up, pause the tape. Throughout this tape, you'll pause, work on some problems, and then unpause when you're ready to see it gone over. So here we go. Number one, what quadrant is a point -4, +2 located in? Well, when I think about this, that first point, -4, means I move left. That second point, +2, means that I'm going up. So I'm going left, and then I'm going up. Starting from the origin, left and up is going to leave me in here, which is quadrant 2. The second one, which quadrant has all points with -x, -y? That means I go left and down. So like -1, -12, or -2, -4, or -9, -3. Either way, they're both negative, and when both points are negative, meaning you move left and down, you end up in quadrant 3, which is right here. Number 3, which point would be located in quadrant 4? Quadrant 4 is the bottom right quadrant. In order to get to the bottom right quadrant, first you move to the right, and then you move down. So the first thing I'm thinking is that to the right, the x value, that has to be positive. So automatically D is eliminated and C is eliminated. So right and down means positive for the first number, which could be A or B, and then negative for the second number, which has to be number 3. Number 3 has to be A. Fourth question, add the following. When you add decimals, the most important thing is that your decimal place is lined up. So you write the first number, which is 5.43. You write the decimal of the second number, and then you plug the other numbers in. So that's what you have to start. Now, when you add decimals, or subtract for that matter, anytime you have a blank, you could fill a 0 in to make it easier. Then you simply add down the columns. 3, 6, decimal, 14, 14.63. All right, the rest of this lesson is going to be on your note sheet, and you need to follow along. If there are blanks and a spot for you to take notes, like right here, you need to pause the tape and take the notes. So pause the tape and complete the note sheet for this slide. Okay, the median is the middle number of a data set. For something to be the middle number, in order to determine that, the numbers have to be in order from least to greatest. This is very important. For example, if I were to show you the 3 numbers of 9, 1, and 6, if you look at these 3 numbers, just because the number 1 is written in the middle does not make it the median or middle number. Because if I were to put these in order from smallest to biggest, it would go 1, and then 6, and then 9. And clearly, the middle number here is 6. 1 is not the middle number, it's actually the smallest number. Just because it was listed in the middle here does not make it the median. So when we find median, we really have 2 steps. First, we have to order the numbers from least to greatest. Then we actually have to find what the middle number is. So this says determine the median amount of magazines sold over the 5 weeks, and we're talking about magazine sales. If this example is on your note sheet, when we start working it, you need to write it down. All right, follow with me. The first thing we're going to do is put these numbers in order from least to greatest. The smallest number is 150, then 160, then 175, then 180, then 225. And you'll notice one strategy I used here is I crossed out the numbers as I went. So in my answer, where I'm gonna have my work set up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers written, and just to double check, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here. So I know I have the right amount of numbers. So to find the middle number here, we're gonna cross out the smallest and biggest. We're squeezing towards the middle, so we get rid of 150 and 225. We do 1 from each side until we're left to the number that is in the absolute middle, which is 175. All right, pause the tape and you work out these 2 problems on your own now. Okay, the first problem. At this point, you should have it unpaused if you're ready. You number from least to greatest. So 32 is the smallest number, then 45. And it's okay if you miss one, because all you got to do, like if I accidentally said 91 was next and I realize that I'm missing 56, I just erase it. That's why you cross them off as you go, to make sure that you put these numbers in order from smallest to biggest. So we double check here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in my data set. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers I'm working with. Now I'm going to cross out smallest, largest, smallest, largest. And wait a second, I'm noticing here, when I'm crossing these out, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have both crossed out here, 2 here, and 2 here. Well, what happened? Well, in this case, it looks like I have 2 numbers in the middle. When I have 2 numbers in the middle, I have to do something a little bit different in order to find the median. We're going to jump forward a slide to see what that is. Okay, when you have 2 numbers in the middle of a data set, in order to determine what the middle number is, you have to add those 2 numbers up and then divide by 2. So you do 24 divided by 2 in this case, because we had 2 numbers left in the middle. In this case, when we had 2 numbers left in the middle here, we have 56 and 89. To find what the actual median is, we would do 56 plus 89. We would put that in our calculator, and then we would take that number and we would divide it by 2. Anytime you have 2 numbers in the middle, you add those 2 numbers and divide by 2. So in our first example we didn't have to divide by 2 because we only had 1 number in the middle. We were able to cross out 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and it just left us with a middle number. In this example, and I'll work it through again, in this example that we just looked at here, I'll put these numbers in order least to greatest again. It went 32, 45, 56, 89, 91, 100. As I start to work through these numbers, I get rid of one of the smallest, one of the largest, a smallest, a largest, and I have 2 numbers left in the middle. When you have 2 numbers left in the middle, you add those 2 numbers up on your calculator, and then you divide them by 2. The bottom example, first we have to put these in order from least to greatest. So 22 is the smallest, then 32, then another 32. So 22, 32, 32, 54, 56, 80, 81, and 91. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same idea. One of the smallest, one of the largest. It always has to go as a match. One from the left, one from the right. Smallest, largest, smallest, largest. And you'll notice I have 3 numbers crossed out on each side. When I have 2 numbers left in the middle, I add those 2 numbers up. So 54 plus 56. And then I divide it by 2, and that will give me my median. On your note sheet here, you should have this example written down. It might not be in the exact order. You might have to find it if there are 2 medians, exactly what you need to do. Okay, so let's take a look at these. This set here, 15, 0, 12, 9, 3. When I put these in order, least to greatest, 0, 3, 9, 12, 15. When I find the middle number here, get rid of smallest and largest, smallest and largest. And you'll notice I have 2 from each side. I have a number left in the middle. Right here, it's 9. I don't have to do anything extra here. 9 is the middle number, the median. In this bottom set, when I put these least to greatest, I have a negative number, negative 24, 17, 17, 29, 31, 36, and 42. When I start crossing these off, let's see what happens. One of the smallest, one of the biggest. Smallest, biggest. Smallest, biggest. You'll notice I have 3 crossed off on each side. 1 number left in the middle, which is 29, and that is perfectly fine. When I have 1 number left in the middle, that is automatically the median. However, if I am crossing off and I end up with 2 numbers in the middle, like in this example here, notice I had 3 numbers crossed out on the left, 3 numbers crossed out on the right. When I have 2 left together, I add those 2 numbers up, 11 plus 13, which is 24, divided by 2, and that gives me a median or middle number of 12. Okay, pause the tape and try these 2 now. All right, the first one, they're already in order for us, so we don't have to do any work in terms of putting them in order. As we start crossing off, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, I see there are 2 numbers left in the middle. So off to the side, I'll do 26 plus 28. That will give me 54, and I divide that by 2, and my answer is a median of 27. The bottom set, these numbers are not in order from least to greatest, so I'm going to have to do that now. 3 is the smallest, then 11, then 15, then 19, then 20, 3, 11, 15, 19, 20, 25, 54, 76. There's all my numbers. Now as I start crossing off, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest. You'll notice I have 2 numbers left in the middle. So I would do 19 plus 20. I would get that answer, and I would divide it by 2, and it would give me a median of 19.5. So on this video, you've looked at finding median 2 different ways. When you have an odd number like 7, 13, 15, 20, and 22, you'll always just have 1 number in the middle, and that is automatically your median. If you have an even set of numbers like 6, 7, 13, 15, 20, 22, when you start crossing off, boom, 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 you'll always have 2 left in the middle. And when you have 2 numbers left in the middle, you add those 2 numbers up. 13 plus 15 is 28. 28 divided by 2 gives you a median of 14. Just 1 extra step. All right, if there's anything on this video that you need to rewatch, go back over, go ahead and do that. To get to the assignment, it's bit.ly/medianae1. Notice the A and E are capital.